Hi, I'm Linda Elder. I'm the president of the Foundation for Critical Thinking. The Foundation for Critical Thinking is a nonprofit organization committed to helping foster the ideal of fair-minded critical thinking in society and throughout the world. We work with teachers, faculty, administrators, business persons, parents, really anyone interested in developing their critical thinking abilities and fostering critical thinking development in others, in the thinking of others. One of the uniquenesses of our work is that we do place fair-mindedness at the front and center of our concept of critical thinking. We argue that critical thinking without ethics creates lots of problems in the world. We're also concerned not only with developing intellectual skills in students and in ourselves, but also in developing intellectual virtues, the virtues of fair-mindedness, intellectual empathy, intellectual integrity, intellectual humility, intellectual autonomy, and so forth. So we're trying to help develop a world where people come together in a very different way from the way we typically see in our society and again throughout the world. We want people to come to situations, to experiences, to conversations with these intellectual virtues. So, for example, with intellectual empathy, so they can actually hear what other people are saying in a conversation. They can be moved by reasoning, by good reasoning, by high quality reasoning, so that they have confidence in reasoning. We can see that in their behavior, in their actions, in the way they live their lives. And so if you can imagine a truly civilized world where people are able to hear opposing viewpoints, are able to enter those viewpoints in good faith, are actually able to enter these viewpoints and hear them and be, again, moved by them when the reasoning is better than the reason a person comes to in the beginning of a conversation, or an experience. So fair-mindedness is a very important part of our concept of critical thinking. We have lots of work to do in achieving this goal, if it's even possible to achieve it. We see the barriers that we face. We see the dysfunctional world in which we live. We see the problems that are created by problems in human thinking. We see that human thinking left to itself is often problematic. It often contains biases, prejudices, distortions, half-truths, and yet at the same time the mind naturally sees itself as fully rational. So whenever we're being self-deceptive, whenever we're deceiving ourselves into thinking that our way is the best way, whenever it's not the best way of looking at a situation, whenever we're functioning in this way, yet we see ourselves as completely rational. And this is a big part of the barrier that we face. I think if you ask most people, do you think there are problems in human thinking? Do you think those problems in human thinking cause problems in human life? And I think most people would answer yes to both of those questions. But then if I ask, well, to what extent do you think you contribute to the problem? To what extent do you think you have problems in your thinking? Most people would turn the other way. In other words, they could see lots of problems with other people's thinking, but not necessarily with their own. And that's natural to the human mind. And that's a big part of the problem that we face in achieving our goal of creating a fair-minded world. So this gives you an idea of what we're reaching for, an idea of our hope for the future, and the extent to which any of us are able to help affect that change is yet to be seen.